This demonstration is about virtual managed services, about service automation for business agility. Why is this an important market today? When you look at enterprise customers, at enterprises out there, their business major challenges today are they have to adopt to new market opportunities, and they have to do it very fast. They also want to shift their investment from their IT infrastructure to their core business. This is really where their strength is, and this is where they want to invest their key financial assets. At the same time, they want to move more and more applications into the cloud to leverage the dynamic benefits of the cloud. At the same time, when you look at service providers today, they also face three major challenges. The biggest one is they have to increase their operational agilities for two reasons. One is they need to reduce their operating expenses. The other one is by achieving operational agility, they will automatically achieve business agility, which allows them to go after these new markets, address business opportunities much faster, which allows them to grow new markets and new revenue opportunities. Now the question is, how do we do the trick? Actually, it's very simple if you know how to do it. We boil it down to three basic layers. The first layer is the infrastructure layer, the network, which we call the evolved programmable network. Really, the key improvements here is add APIs for additional programmability and virtualized network functionality to get the elasticity in the network. Once you have a programmable network, you need something to program and automate the network. The second layer is the Cisco Evolved Services platform, which is a modular software platform that allows you to automate and provisioning the infrastructure underneath. Here you can define new services and create new business models. It orchestrates physical networks as well as virtual networks, which is really important because if you implement new services, they will cross both virtual and physical infrastructure, and they will run in a multi-vendor environment. And then on top of that, you have the application layer, which now really benefits from a very simple architecture underneath, so all the network complexity is taken away from the application. They don't have to deal with that complexity. Now let's look at a scenario and an example how our customers are actually deploying virtual managed services. In this demonstration, we show you how a customer is actually deploying these three-layer architecture to provide virtual managed cloud VPN services. The first thing an enterprise customer will see is a very simple portal. They just start by logging in their service. Once they log in, they see a very simple screen laying out the services and capabilities of these functionalities. Now, this is a custom portal which can really customize to any market segment, to any customer segment, to any specific market opportunity. That's the flexibility of the architecture that allows you to do this. In this case, the objective is to make it really simple for non-IT experts to order IT services. The structure here is very simple. We have 4 basic services for CloudVPN, like a remote VPN service, a basic service, a full VPN service, and a VPN premium service. So without really a lot of technology experience, you know what you want to order. And then if you would click on individual icons, the customer would get more information behind these services. At the same time, you see what the service would cost per month. You have more additional information underneath what's included. The basic difference is these are basic services, these more advanced services, which include additional security services. So in this scenario now, what the customer would do is they pick one of these services, and in this case, we would select a CloudVPN premium service. So now we see when we order the VPN premium service, we get additional choices because this portal actually has a recommendation engine built in. So at the first screen, we ask some basic parameters of your business. So then the engine then can provide further recommendation for the next step in the order process. In this case, we ask for the number of sites. We say there's 3 sites. Each site has 10 users per site. Then we have the option to specify the anticipated employee growth. Is it low growth, medium growth, or high growth? So we have a little slider at the bottom where you can define what it is. Then we go to the next step by using the recommendation engine. Every site needs to be connected. So you need a little bit of bandwidth, a little bit more bandwidth, or a lot of bandwidth, basically 10 megabits, 50 megabits, or 100. Based on the first parameters, we go with 50 megabits. The next selection is how many user licenses do you need? Again, based on the initial parameters, we go with 20. We select that. The next step is we want to add some level of security. Here again, simple choices, low, medium, high. If you want to know more information about what's included, you just look at the short description and you get an idea of what the security feature includes. We select medium security. Now we need some CPE devices that need to be shipped. We pre-populate the order process with recommended CPEs, but we also provide the choice to change those CPE devices with a new pop-up menu, which gives you more choices. We stick with the recommendation, click on the next button. Now, the last step is, where do these devices need to be shipped? They can either be shipped to one address, or you can specify addresses per site. You can add new addresses if it's required. In this case, we have the address already in the system. We select them. Final view is the review of the order, if everything is ordered as you want it. If you like it, all the customer has to do is click the purchase button, and now from here, the architecture that I described earlier is now implementing this service fully automated. We see four basic steps here. First, the virtual router gets installed, the web security gets installed, virtual firewall gets installed, everything in the cloud. Those are virtual network functions. The CPE device, in the meantime, was shipped to site. Once it arrives at the site, all you have to do is plug in power, plug it into the network, the device calls home and gets automatically provisioned from the system, and the service is up and running. In addition, this portal also provides a dashboard which gives you analytics information about the system. In this case, we have a map view. You can zoom into the map, or you can move out of the map to get a closer view of your sites. You can move the map around to really pick the area that you want to look at. To the right, you see statistics on performance, monthly usage. You can customize the statistics in any way you want. You can click on sites, and then you get specific information to every site that you click on. Again, there you have a sliding window, time window, that gives you the analytics information on the window that you want to see. At the same time, you have the option to look at devices in your network. Once you click on devices there, the same thing, you get analytics information about these sites. You can search for devices, you can see which devices are online, which devices are operational, or which devices are unused. Another excellent, good feature is looking at remote users. You have a complete list of all the users on your network. In an easy way, you can select users, you can suspend them, you can add users, or you can change their password or remove them from the list. So in short, this is a portal really targeted towards making it very easy for consumers to order new services. Again, the architecture is flexible enough that you can customize this portal to larger enterprises which want to have more capabilities and more choices to define their services. You can design this portal for different market segments. Here it's virtual managed services. You can target it for mobility services, for residential services, or security service. So overall, it's all about service automation and really driving simplicity and automation into the network.